And tonight, Florida's role in that siege is becoming disturbingly clear.
Yeah, ABC 27's investigative reporter Katie LaGrone explains what we've learned about the Floridian rioters involved and what it suggests about extremism in our state.
365 days later, just over 700 people have been federally charged for their role in the Capitol riots. 365 days later, about 170 of them have pled guilty. And 365 days later, we now know Floridians played a major role in the violence that pinned Americans against Americans 1 year ago in the nation's capital.
From Florida, we saw folks of all backgrounds showing up on January 6th, of all affiliations to domestic violent extremist groups and lack thereof.
Andrew Mines of George Washington University's program on extremism is among a group of researchers who dissect and track cases of extremism in the U.S., including the siege inside the U.S. Capitol last year.
Even a year out, a lot of questions still remain unanswered.
But what the team has found using court records is of all individuals charged so far in the riot, more than 80% are male, average age 39, and most of them people with no ties to the extreme, but ended up going there January 6th.
They didn't come prepared to necessarily storm the Capitol and what we saw happen on January 6th. But once things got going, participated in a really organic manner in what was going on and actually ended up leading the charge into the Capitol. That's something that was surprising to a lot of us that we can say definitively now, and that is alarming going forward.
Among them, Floridians, who with 75 charged so far, lead states with the highest number of its residents accused of participating in the Capitol Hill mayhem. They include a Melbourne teacher, a Sanford firefighter, law enforcement officers, and members of known far-right extremist groups, the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. All of them accused of showing up to protest against the presidential victory of Joe Biden, then turning violent after a rally cry over false claims the 2020 election was stolen from then-President Donald Trump.
What does that say about Florida?
If you look at who's been arrested and charged from Florida, it's one of the greatest representations of how fractured domestic extremism is in this country.
Do the rest of us take away anything that suggests that Florida is a, dare I say it, healthy breeding ground for extremism?
I think it would probably be a stretch to say that at this point.
It doesn't mean we have an extremist group problem in Florida in the classic sense, but we have a problem of the normalization of extremism that goes well beyond any one group or movement.
Which is why Orrin Siegel, vice president of the Anti-Defamation League's Center on Extremism, believes the federal arrests of these Capitol Hill rioters won't go far enough to stop a movement he says has become even more blatant across the state and everyday America.
This is not hidden anymore. And frankly, this is the landscape of extremism as we look at this sort of post-January 6th world, where extremists feel emboldened, they're acting more locally in terms of their activity, but those pieces of disinformation and those conspiracies that animated them, they have not gone away. This country's polarized, and extremists never miss an opportunity to leverage a crisis.
In addition to these arrests, which are expected to reach the thousands, a federal committee has been investigating the origin of this attack and the funding sources behind it. But in a country still so divided and misinformation still so easy to obtain, even the experts agree whether or not these investigations will be enough to deter any future extremist attacks remains up in the air. Katie LaGrone reporting.